Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 15th COT report of 2016. And as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions, so here we go. As you may see, we've got copper on top of a list with a 25% change in commercials positions. You can see the change size over here. We've got roughly the same change size, a 23% change in large speculators and a 17% change in small speculators. These changes are larger than average, bullish COT change signals, and of course affecting prices in the near term. So if they do take an effect on the copper market, we are expecting that to happen in the next couple of days. A 5-year chart, here we go, will show us the extreme situation in the market. Right now you can see that a pretty large bullish COT extreme happened a few months ago at this low in copper, pushing prices higher. As prices went higher, we've reached a relative bearish extreme, meaning commercials reaching net zero line, also large speculators reaching net zero. But as you can see on the 5-year chart, there are situations when the extreme can go to even wider extremes. So that just tells us that even a relative extreme could have an effect on price. And now we're moving towards bullish extreme levels again. So the last major extreme that I would say is still in place is this bullish one. And until we see prices going below that level, I would say that this COT extreme is still in place. Let's move on and have a look at the Chicago wheat, where we have a 24% change in commercials positions. You can see the change size over here. Again, we're talking about a bullish COT change signal that is larger than average. And we have a similar change size in large speculators. Moving on to the 5-year chart, we're going to have a look at this all-time COT extreme that we have here. You may see it over here. So this means that large speculators have never in the COT history of the Chicago wheat were so net short about the wheat market. This, of course, is a very strong bullish COT extreme signal. And at these price levels, we can expect this to be a trend changer. Even small speculators, if you look at the chart, are net long. That didn't really happen too often in history of the Chicago wheat, at least the 5 years history. You may see once for only a little bit of maybe 2 weeks time period in 2015 and now in 2016. Moving on to heating oil, we have a 22% change over there in commercials positions. You can see the change size over here. In this case, we're talking about a bearish COT change signal coming at a point in time when this actually could take its effect and push prices a bit lower. The last time we had such a COT change signal was back over here. Maybe not as large, but still a more significant one, pushing prices lower. Opening a 5-year chart, here we go. You can see how extreme this market is. We're moving away from bullish extreme levels. You may see that this was the last major COT extreme. And even though it was bullish, you could see that its action on price came a little bit later. A couple of weeks have passed before price actually reached a bottom, and now we can experience a bit of a rally in heating oil. Now there's still space left to reach bearish extreme levels. I'm just going to show you here back in 2013 what a bearish extreme level may mean. So that's well, roughly 60,000 contracts net short in case of commercials, and we're more or less at about 10,000. So there's still about 50,000 contracts to get to those levels, which means there's plenty of space in the COT report to get to those extreme levels, which means, of course, this rally may easily continue in the future. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme. Well, we talked about the Chicago wheat, so let's jump over to the Japanese yen, where we also have an all-time COT extreme in large speculators. Of course, we're going to move to the 5-year chart. Here we go. It's more visible over here. So what it is saying is that large speculators have never in its COT history have been so bullish about the market. And if you look at commercials, they're at a 420 report extreme, again a very significant extreme. So we can expect this rally to end. I'm not saying now. Don't forget, these all-time COT extreme can be present in the market for many weeks or even months before any reaction from price comes. But still, it's something that we should have an eye on and keep in our minds that there's a very significant extreme in the Japanese yen market right now, and that may affect prices sooner or later. Gold, our next market, with a 244 report extreme. Let's open that market. Again, we're talking about a significant bearish COT extreme. There's still space left. You can see it on the 5-year chart, but nevertheless, it's a very large extreme, and you can see how well these relative extremes can pinpoint tops in the market. So another good opportunity, I would say. And last but not least, let's have a look at the lumber market, where we have 158 report extreme in large speculators and 157 in commercials. And you may see that this is a very significant bearish COT extreme. You may see that back in 2013, that's the time and place what this 157, 158 report extreme means. That since then we haven't seen neither commercials or large speculators at such net levels. So it's a bearish COT extreme, another great market to analyze for the future. Okay, that is going to be all for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.